Trademarks are all over the place. Take a quick walk down the street and you'll see them on cars, buildings, on yourself, even on this camera. But where did trademarks begin? Hi, this is Will. Welcome to the InnovAU channel. I create videos that aim to educate and inspire people to get out there and invent, innovate, and create your ideas into reality. Trademarks, as we know them, have existed for a relatively short amount of time, but they've existed in one form or another for a very long time. Before trademarks had become official, marks that had shown origin, ownership, or quality have existed for up to 7,000 years. For example, in France they found cave paintings with pictures of bison, which academics think have shown ownership over something. These pictures have been dated to up to 6,000 to 7,000 years old. And getting a bit more modern than that, in the Middle Ages in Europe you see the emergence of trade guilds. These trades are for pottery or bottles, things like that. And the trade guilds would put their mark or their logo on whatever their trade was to distinguish what guilds it came from. Another early variation on the trademark is the term watermark, which we commonly associate now with a picture or logo or trademark which is placed on in an image or a video to determine who made that image or video. The term watermark was coined by people who made paper, manufacturers of paper, and they'd place this watermark on the paper to distinguish who made that piece of paper to determine quality. So in saying this, a trademark or any mark of trade was not just a badge of origin but also a badge of quality. It identified the manufacturer, but it also identified how good the quality of the item was based on the manufacturer. Another very early version of this was in 1363. Silversmiths in England were required to use their own markings or trademark to define their silverware. People still use these sorts of markings to determine the quality of the silverware and the quality of the workmanship. One of the earliest known cases or legal action that revolved around the idea of a trademark was in 1618, the Southern v. Howe case, which regarded a low-quality cloth maker and a high-quality cloth maker. Now in this case, the low-quality cloth maker put on their cloth a mark that was supposed to determine high-quality cloth. Now they didn't make high-quality cloth, so they didn't have the rights to use that mark. And in this instance, they were sued, and they had to stop using that mark that identified high-quality cloth until they made high-quality cloth. And you can see in this case that if they had continued using that mark, it would have tarnished the reputation of the high-quality mark. People may have bought something which they thought was high quality, and then it turned out to be low quality. And they would think, well, if that's what high-quality cloth is like, then I won't buy high-quality cloth. It would tarnish the reputation of that high-quality mark. Another early sort of predecessor law to trademarks law was the mark in 1266 in England. For bread makers, they passed a law which required bread makers to put some sort of marking on their loaves of bread to identify who made that loaf of bread. This could be in the form of a pinprick or a stamp or some sort of indentation. Now in regards to the modern Trademarks Acts and the modern laws that we know regarding trademarks, we have to jump forward all the way to 1857 was the first sort of main act that was passed in regards to trademarks in general. This was in France and it was called the Manufacture and Goods Mark Act. This was closely followed in Britain in 1862 when they passed the Merchandise Marks Act. This act in Britain, the Merchandise Marks Act, evolved in 1875, creating the first Trademarks Registration Act. This was the first time that there was formal registration of trademarks. In the US, there was an attempt to pass trademark legislation in 1870, although the Supreme Court struck this down later on, eventually passing a new Trademark Act in 1881. And from these origins, the Trademarks Acts have changed significantly over the years to adapt to modern ideas, but they still remain the Trademarks Acts that we know and love. And we now have thousands upon thousands of trademarks registered all over the world, covering nearly every variety of good that you can imagine. Thanks for watching. It has been awesome talking with you. If you have any thoughts or comments or questions about the history of trademarks, leave a comment in the comments section below. Hit that like button, and if you'd like to see more videos that aim to educate and inspire people to get out there and invent, innovate, and create ideas into reality, hit that subscribe button as well. Thanks again for watching. It's been awesome talking with you. I hope you have an awesome day or night or whatever time it is where you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio!